off, on your question, like, since you want us all to agree, and I like trained as a mathematician, I'm very tempted to like give an answer that will make it impossible for anyone to disagree or to agree, to not agree with me. But I won't do it. I'm just tempted. So I think the challenging thing here is that in terms of like how we measure or like assess if we're making progress on this, we're going to have a lot of difficulty with this because there's a lot of incentive to conceal or even outright lie about the amount of progress we're making, right? So to explain this a little bit, let's just say that like you develop like AI good enough to replace a human worker, right? So like you develop HLAI good enough, you just don't need to apply humans anymore, right? So this is worth probably something like $20 to $30 trillion now, right? If you develop this technology. And that's a lot of money, right? So it's very appealing to say, I want to do this, but you also don't really want to telegraph to anyone that you're doing this necessarily unless you can like deliver incremental results that will like generate value. If all of the value comes at the end, it's generally not a good idea to like tell people that you're doing this because then you're going to like solicit competition. Because basically once people know that like someone else is doing something and they think that it's possible, it changes radically like the sort of approach you take, right? If someone thinks that like, oh, I can make this technology, or like, to give the example of nuclear weapons, right? Once we had the like proof by example that nuclear weapons were possible, we have, basically the independent redevelopment of it in different countries despite, not sharing the information on exactly how to do it. So, there's a lot of reason to want to conceal, and this like complicates things. So obviously, like, what this really means is that this is just an additional, though, complication we have to deal with in terms of like solving the AI race, right? Our solutions need to be such that they incentivize away from this sort of situation where people are going to conceal and lie and create an environment where we can't know and measure what's happening, where it's difficult to know if we're making progress in the right direction. That doesn't necessarily make anything easier, right? It just makes things harder, but knowing that that's an aspect to the problem, I think at least helps inform the sort of like interventions and designs that we come up with to address the issue.